Feet together. Make sure your knees are over your ankles. Your hips are over your knees. Slightly tuck your hips in. Tuck your tailbone in. Pull your shoulders back and down. Start to center yourself in your body. Slightly tuck your chin in. Shoulders back and down. Hands equal by your sides. You want to feel like there's a string being pulled to the top of your head. And then we can rock forward and back, left and right. So we're standing up really tall here. Coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. So we're grounding ourselves into our bodies, out of our minds. And then we're going to take 5 yogic breaths. So put one hand on your belly. We're going to inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, push your belly in. Go ahead and do that 5 more times. This is activating your rest and digest nervous system. Come back to mountain pose, hands by your sides. A lot of people hold weight in one foot more than the other. So just move your feet around. You want to evenly distribute the weight in your feet. Okay, and then let's do feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're going to warm up our hips. So gently come forward, and then we're going to come over to the left, to the back, to the right, and down. We're warming up the spine, not the hips. I don't know. Come to the back, to the right, and forward. One more time. Over to the left, to the back, to the right, and down. And let's switch sides. So come over to the right. Come back to the top, feet together, come back into mountain pose, Tadasana, feet together, ground yourself here, really pushing into the feet. We're always wearing shoes, so this is really important. You don't have to grip the mat or anything, but just evenly distribute the weight in the feet. Activating those yogic breaths here. Inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, push your belly in. Okay, let's do some forward folds. So we're going to inhale, stay here on the heels. Exhale, come forward at the hips. Come to the top. Let's do that again. Hands to the heart. Inhale. You can come up onto the toes this time. Exhale, come forward. So we're doing this 10 times. Inhale up, exhale down. Since we're warming up the spine, we're going to start to focus on the heart chakra because we're going to activate that today. Let's do one more. Slowly come up. And then come back to mountain pose, Tadasana, hands equal by the sides. Okay, let's come into warrior two. So you're gonna bring your right foot forward. Your left foot is gonna come back at an angle. Our heel is gonna be lined up with the middle of the left foot. Make sure your knees over your ankle. And then bring your arms to a T. And we're gonna look out past the right fingertips here. Just feeling the expansion across your chest. Just activating that area where your heart chakra stays. I'm going to activate this by pressing down on the outside edges of the feet. You get that wrapping sensation towards the back of your thighs. Really start to breathe through your chest, breathe into that heart chakra. Arms come down, bring the left foot forward, shake that out if you need to. Let's do that on the other side. So left foot comes forward, right foot comes back. So our heel is going to be lined up with the middle of the right foot. Our knee is over our ankle. Bring your arms to a T. We're looking out past the left fingertips here. Pressing down on the outside edges of the feet. Breathing into that heart chakra. Just breathe into the middle of the chest. Then bring your arms down, bring that right foot forward, shake that out if you need to. Okay, so let's face forward and we're gonna come into chair pose. So feet hip width apart, and then we're gonna inhale, bring our arms up, and then you're gonna bring all the weight into your heels. Make sure your knees stay behind your toes. See if you can go any lower. Let's release that. Inhale, reach up really tall. You can stay here or come up onto your toes, come down, and then bending at the hips. We're gonna grab our elbows, coming into ragdoll. Bend your elbows here and bend your knees. Start to take some deep breaths. And slowly roll to the top. Your head's gonna come up last. Come back to mountain pose. Feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Okay, let's come into chair pose again. So we're gonna bring your feet hip width apart. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, make sure your knees are behind your toes, looking forward. So you can go lower this time. Make sure you're taking those yogic breaths. And let's release that. Inhale, reach up really tall. Exhale, come forward, bending at the hips, grab the elbows. And in this posture, our head is below our heart. So usually our head is on top, but in this posture, our heart is above our head. Just breathe into that heart area. And release your hands and slowly roll to the top. Your head's going to come up last. Come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Stand up really tall. Center yourself. Slightly tuck your chin in. Slightly tuck your tailbone in. Okay, from here, let's come into triangle pose. So left foot forward, right foot comes back. And this time our foot is straight, it's not at an angle. And we're gonna bring our arms to a T. And then we're gonna inhale, and we're going to come over to the left. Exhale, come down. So your hand can be on your calf or your ankle or on the mat, and look up. Make sure your arms are stacked on top of each other. You can look down at the mat or keep your arms stacked on top of each other and look up. Take the right arm down and then come forward. Shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's do Bumblebee Pose or balancing pose. You're gonna find a point on the mat to help you balance. And we'll do our left foot again. So arms stay by the sides. We're gonna hover that right foot and then gently start to bring it up. So we're finding that point on the mat to help us balance. That's our drishti, our eye gaze. Slowly come back down. Shake that out if you need to. Let's do that on the other side. So we're going to bring our right foot forward. Our left foot comes back. Our heel is lined up with the right heel. Our left heel is straight, not at an angle. We're going to bring our arms to a T, and then we're going to inhale and come over to the right. Exhale, come down to your calf or your ankle or the mat. Look up, make sure your arms are stacked on top of each other. Bring the left arm down, bend that right knee, bring the left foot forward. Shake that out if you need to. And now let's come into Bumblebee Pose on the other side. So find that point on the mat to help you balance. Our arms are going to stay parallel. Hover that left leg up, and then put all the weight in that right foot, and then start to hover that left leg up. And slowly start to bring that left foot down. Shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's come into chair pose. So feet hip width apart. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale. We're looking forward. We're looking forward to ragdoll, where we can stop doing chair. If you can go any lower, see if you can add a smile. Make sure you're breathing. And then let's release that. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto the heels, come forward. Grab the elbows, bend the knees here if that feels good. Start to take some deep breaths, breathe into that heart chakra. Really focus on the fact that your heart is above your head. So when your head's on top, you always have to listen to your head and your mind. And now your heart's on top, so you can listen to your heart and see if it has anything to tell you. And then release your hands and then slowly roll to the top. Your head's going to come up last. Come back to mountain pose. Stand up tall. Hands equal by your sides. Okay, let's come into half moon pose on the right. So inhale, reach up really tall. Exhale, come down, and then come over to the right. Come back to center, big circle with the arms. Let's do that on the left side. Inhale. Come down, come over to the left. Back to center, big circle with the arms. Come back to mountain pose. Stand up really tall. And then from here, we're going to do some neck rolls. So bring your chin to your chest. We'll do 3 to the left. Just take your time. Then come back to center, and then we'll do 3 to the other side. And then let's do some shoulder rolls. So we'll do 5 to the front. And then 5 to the back. And then let's come into eagle pose, Garudasana. So bring the right arm up, bring the left arm under, then bring the right foot over. You can stay here or you can bring your feet up off the mat. And then finding that point in front of you to help you balance your drishti. Release that. Shake that out if you need to. Let's do that on the other side. So bring the left arm up, bring the right arm under, and then bring the right foot over. Release that. Shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's come to the front of our mat. And then we're going to do a back bend. So we're going to bring our left foot forward and bend that left knee, and then bring your hands to your heart. And then we're going to inhale, reach back, taking a couple breaths here. And then come back to the center. And then let's do a forward fold. Inhale, reach up really tall, half forward fold, Uttanasana. Come forward. And then come back into downward dog. So we're going to do feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. So drive the weight into your heels here. Go to your feet left and right if that feels good. Make sure you're still taking those yogic breaths. Inhale, exhale. And then from here, let's come onto our knees. Let's push back into child's pose. Take some deep breaths here. Okay, and then let's come onto all fours. We're gonna do cat-cow. We're gonna inhale, look up, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, exhale, inhale up, exhale, chin to chest. So keep going. We're gonna inhale up, exhale down. We're doing our 3 minutes of cat-cow. And I want to tell you about this cool thing that I learned this weekend about the heart chakra. So in Tibetan Buddhism, they have a different number of chakras in the body. And so I've been teaching about 7 chakras, but in every culture, they have a different version of the chakras. And it's really cool because Tibet was really secluded. So the fact that they still have the chakra system in their religious beliefs is really cool, because that means that it's just known. It's like an esoteric teaching in all cultures, and so they have it because all cultures have it, because it's a subtle body. And so, but they have this really cool thing about the heart chakra, and so I'm just going to read it to you. So in the heart chakra, so they call their chakras wheels. So I'm going to replace that with chakra, because that's what we've learned about, and so it's just going to be easier to read. And so there's a special drop in the middle of the heart chakra, which is an indestructible drop. And the current Dalai Lama says that this heart chakra is one of phenomenon, and that this special drop originates at the center of all other chakras. They call them wheels, so channel wheels. So this drop originates at the center of all other chakras. So this indestructible drop carries within it a subtle life-bearing wind, which is like the prana, the life force energy. So this indestructible drop in the heart chakra carries within it a subtle life-bearing wind, life force energy. And upon death, all winds, or prana, life force energy, they dissolve within the drop, and it brings forth a sort of second dawn or renewal. I think of it as a raindrop of the soul, and it is carried on the winds from life to life. That's the Dalai Lama. Enclosed in a small sphere within the heart, this drop describes the precious contribution of the heart to our lives on every level. So cool. So we have this indestructible drop full of prana, life force energy that goes with us from life to life. And this shows us just how important this contribution of the heart in our lives is. So freaking cool. I was like, I want one of those. I already have one. It's in there. Awesome. So cool. Okay, so let's come into a seated position. And we're going to do the addiction meditation. So give me 1 second. Okay, so fingers up on the pads of the palms, and our thumbs are gently resting on our temples, and we're mentally saying sa, ta, na, ma, while we clench the back molars. Sit up really tall. And we can activate this by imagining the mantra going through the crown chakra out through the third eye. And inhale, exhale. Okay, and then let's come onto all fours, and then we're going to actually come onto our bellies. And then we're going to come into Sphinx Pose. So elbows under the shoulders. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, gently look up. And we're just gonna breathe into your chest, where your heart chakra is. Just breathe into that area to activate it. This chakra or wheel is associated with love, with unconditional love. These wheels store our emotions, our thoughts, our karmas, which are just actions. So past, present. And we're just breathing into that area to activate it. Chakra is associated with love, with unconditional love for yourself and others. So you can also think of something that you absolutely love to activate this chakra. Then gently come down and let's push back into child's pose. And then let's come into a seated position. Okay, we're gonna do fists of anger. So our thumbs kind of under our pinky mounds, our fingers are over our thumbs, our arms are in front of us, and we're doing O mouth breath. And we're thinking about what makes us angry and irritated and frustrated. And our arms are going up over our head. So go ahead and start. Interlace the fingers, inhale. All the breath. Project white light all around you. Exhale. Inhale. Stretch. Project it above you, below you, all around you. Exhale. Inhale. Stretch, project it, project. And exhale. Stretch the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw. Again, let's come onto all fours. And let's come back down onto our bellies. And then let's come back into Sphinx Pose. Elbows come under the shoulders. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, gently look up. Focusing on that heart chakra. Bringing attention to it brings intention. Starting to remember that we have an indestructible drop located in our heart chakra. Remembering that this drop is the basis for all other chakras. Remembering that this drop is filled with indestructible life force energy. Well, the drop is indestructible, but once the life force energy leaves this drop, then we are no more. We're gone, we're dead. But it's not an ending because it's a renewal cycle. So this drop goes with you to your next life. So it's not a death process, it's a renewal process. Just remembering that this indestructible drop carries with it a subtle, life-bearing wind. And upon death, all winds dissolve within it, bringing forth a second dawn or renewal. Gently come down, let's push back into child's pose. Let's come into hare pose. So coming up onto the top of our head, really round through the back here. Your feet down to the mat. Let's come into a seated position and come down onto our butts so we can come into Shavasana. Roll down onto your back and take up as much space on your mat here as you'd like. Palms face up. Let your feet fall to each side. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and then go ahead and take 5 yogic breaths on your own. Inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, push your belly in. Then bring your hands back down to Shavasana. Start to let your brow smooth over. Your forehead relax. Let your eyes relax. Just feel the little muscles at the corners of the eyes smooth over. Giving a slight smile at the corner of the eyes. The jaw relax. Let the tongue fall back into the root of your mouth. Giving a slight smile at the corner of your lips. See if we can release the tension in the shoulders from the inside out. Feeling inside the shoulders and feeling that tension move from ice to water, water to gas, letting go. Moving down the arms and feeling the fingertips. Feeling the hands. So you can feel the pulsating sensation of life living right here in this moment. See if you can feel the hands from the inside out. Rushing, tingling sensation, blood flowing through your fingers. Feeling the life that's here. Focusing on the heart. Take a moment and see what's there. Just taking note of what emotions are there. Then without covering anything up, just add a smile. Just feel your belly fall into its natural rhythm. Adding a smile across the navel. And then feel your hips just relax. Adding a smile from hip to hip. Feel your legs as they take up length and volume. They take up space on the mat. And see if you can feel each part of your body as a whole right now. And gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Then bring your arm up over your head and roll over onto your side. And come up into a seated position. Hands to your heart. So remember that you have an indestructible drop of life force energy located in your heart chakra that goes with you from life to life. And just be aware of how much our heart is important in so many aspects of our life, physical and subtle. So, Satnam.